All right, is everything squared away here? Let's see. All right. Kind of want to move this. Do some market analysis stuff here. Befriend them, cool. Mark, what's up? Zombie took off. It did, and it is retracing pretty hard. Real question is, where's Deadpool at? He is retracing as well. A lot of the NFTs that are sub, 300-ish, or a lot of the NFTs have retraced quite a bit. So it's kind of no surprise. Zombie Hunter dead. Zombie Hunter. Spidey did go down. You think Batgirl will be next? Batgirl will be next. And Deadpool? I think they could still all pump. I think they can all do it. I don't think it's a rotation now. I think it's just the market just needs time to recover for... I don't want to put Batman, Batgirl. Just needs time to recover for the most part. Batgirl's going up. I mean, she's only up 15 gems though, 16 gems. I think she's already kind of had her time. As much as I hate to say it, she's kind of a, third-rate superhero behind a lot of the other ones. Like, I would consider Batman, Joker, and all of those to be like first-rate. Harley's like second-rate, and then unfortunately, Batgirl and some of the other ones are lesser known. But that's just purely speaking on popularity. And I mean, we can see these numbers. What did we have here? 132, and then now it's up to 218. So people are really taking their profits right now for Batgirl. I actually need to kind of turn off that previously sold thing. I don't know if it helps out that much when that's going on. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so kind of expected at this point. I heard that the golden moments have actually been going down a little bit. I mean, they've been going absolutely bazonkers, especially R2D2. But I think this one has retraced a bit. Let me see. I could have sworn this one was up to like 9K at one point. Yeah, I went all the way up to 9K. Which is pretty crazy. Yeah. That's figures. 9,069 gems. Nice. And it even has the serial number too of like which ones got sold at one point. That's kind of cool. I didn't know they added that. It says serial number like 3,160, serial number 6,017. That's kind of cool. But you can see right here, 157 all the way up to 188. People are just taking profits. Yeah, everything is just, everyone's just taking their profits too. Honestly, I was too for certain NFTs. But it's really hard. This is why, essentially, I think the term is dollar cost averaging or whatever it is, like on its way up. So if you do have an NFT, let's say you bought at 300 and you think it's going to pump to 450 or 500, like maybe like every 50 gems or so, you kind of want to purchase it, or wherever you think it's going to peak. Like every 50 gems, you list one, so that way you're at least getting some money. Because once it gets close to its peak of where you think it's going to be, it's really hard to sell all 5 of your NFTs or 6 of them or whatever stack you have all at that price point. Because once you do that, you're going to start undercutting other people and it's going to get stuck. And yeah, so it's like just kind of take the profits while you can. Because not too long ago, people were selling the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man for the common for like 480, and people were just buying it instantly. And that was like, they were heavily underpricing or like undercutting the people that were at like 499 and stuff. But now it's at 249, so, or sorry, 429. So people are gonna get burned. If they bought at the peak, yes. If you bought last night, if you bought any like Deadpool, Spider-Man, any of those NFTs like last night, or I should say 24 hours ago, you're fine. Like I'm well in the profit margin for Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Like even if you went all the way down to 300, technically I'm making profit, not a lot, but yeah, if you bought when he was above 450, you're in trouble. But I definitely think he could easily go up to like 550, like before the end of the week. It's just gonna take a bit longer. Marvel #1 secret rare or Spider-Man animated secret rare? Like, is this stuff you can afford, or are you just saying like which one's better? In my personal opinion, I think it's the Spider-Man animated secret rare. There's only what 1,000 mints of that. How many are there of the Marvel Comics #1? I think I've said this before. I don't really pay too close attention to the comics, to be honest. Like I kind of wish I did. Like I know what the blue chip or like the grails are for comics, but I don't really pay that close attention to all of that. Marvel Comics. Is it only showing? Okay, so Marvel Comics. Secret rare 600 editions. Wow, so it's actually less than the animated Spider-Man. Personally, I would still say Spider-Man, personally. No, if they're gonna sell. Yeah, I definitely think this could rebound, you know. That's why I stopped selling my Spider-Mans. I'm like, it's down to 430. That seems a bit too low for me, personally, so. But I definitely think like Zombie Hunter Spider-Man can probably get up to like 550 sometime tomorrow. Maybe it might take one more day. We'll see. But that most recent video that Foster Hilt did talking about how much money is actually getting pumped into the app like every day is actually kind of crazy. I think he said somewhere in the realm of like, I don't know if this is right, but he said like roughly like north of like 2 to 3 million gems a day or something like that. It's crazy. What to get for under 350? That's hard now because things are retracing, which is good. Now it's like now you need to find the bottom, right? Like that's the real thing now. It's like you're trying to find the bottom of a lot of these NFTs for the most part. Let's take a quick look. These are the top gainers, but for under 350, it's so weird because like there's some things I would suggest. And like the price has just gone up absurdly, and it's like, oh, let me suggest this. It was 300 just a couple days ago. Oh wait, it's 550 now, and it's just like gone. Let's look at Groot. Are you okay? I guess this is the question. Sorry, I haven't been reading your names with the comments. Really Zot? Is that what it is? Is that how you pronounce it? Really Zot? I don't know. Says what to get for under 350 gems. Are you looking to stack, or are you looking to get one NFT, like one NFT that's like between 300 to 350? Are you looking to stack multiple ones that are like pretty inexpensive? That kind of helps me because I would say I don't like it. Like more than happy to give a recommendation, but I just want to make sure I give you the right one. You know, because I think some people have gotten into the habit of stacking, and so have I. Like I'm kind of gotten to the point now where it's like I just stack certain NFTs. I sell them off when I can until I can afford a blue chip. I buy that, and then I still have enough gems left over to keep stacking something else or something cheaper. So that's been kind of my plan for the last few weeks, and it's worked out pretty well. But yeah, it's like basically stack until you can work yourself up to a blue chip, buy that, but still have enough gems left over to play with some other stuff. Mark, that was a great video. 3M. Don't know what you mean by 3M. But yeah, the most recent video I did with talking about Andrew Ellis's video, because I was legitimately going to talk about a very similar topic that he did, and I was like, you know, I'll just do it as like a response video. Plus, like yesterday's stream, I think was super successful. I fielded a lot of questions. I think I did a pretty good job of giving recommendations. So yeah, like I told people like buy Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, buy Deadpool, buy Finn. Where's Finn at? That's a good question. I don't think again, I'm not telling people to buy these things, but I was like, these is what I suggest or whatever. I think Finn was around low 200s yesterday, so he had a nice little pump, but could be up a bit more. Spider-Man is annoying. It goes up once you sell it. It's a trap. Don't let it fool you. Dude, I get that feeling all the time, dude. There's so many times where I sell something off and it just pumps ridiculously hard. Yeah, it happens. And it's especially since once you start selling off, it starts going the other way, or whatever it is. I'm trying to think of a time where that's happened to me. It's happened a few times. I've just gone through so many different NFTs and things I've tried to like flip. Like, you know what? Let me see. Where's Drug Kill 'em Frog? Strangely enough, this is kind of an example. Yeah. So I bought, there was a time where like a lot of the serial killer hype stuff was going on, and I was buying the Drug Kill 'em Frogs because it was kind of a meme, right? Like Pepe and like all that stuff. And he was going down, and I'm like, all right, the supply is up, the price is going down, like this is good. Like I think this is actually a pretty decent time to buy. And this is when he was at like 80 gems. And this was over a month ago. I remember buying, I think 3 or 4 of them. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to flip these. I feel like these are going to go up at some point. They never did. They just like hovered around like 50, 60 for a long time, like a long time. And just the other day, I would say like 3 days ago, I sold all of them for a small loss, like 75 gems. So I lost 5 gems on each, but maybe a little bit more because the fees and stuff. So it's like 6 gems each. I'm like, you know what? I need to sell these so I can afford Zombie Hunter Spider-Man or something else. So it ended up working out, but like now they're 105. So it's like I waited a full month and a half for them to finally get profitable. They never did. And when I sold them 2 days later, now they're profitable. So it happens. That's what exactly happened with Drug Kill 'em Frog, which looking in hindsight, why did I even bother investing in serial killers, which I do think some of them could do well off platform. I think Immutable X is going to be very interesting, especially with all the artwork pieces. A lot of the art has actually done pretty well too. Please tell me this does decon. Ugh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the art pieces, but Mark per day. Okay, 3 mil per day. That's what it was. Is that boy Keo? What's up, dude? How you doing? It's nice to have you here. A lot of similar names, like seeing it. Pixel Trader's back. Mark is back. Yeah, the Hilton video. Yeah. That was a great video. Yeah, that was a great video. Yeah, it kind of really makes you bullish on certain things, and how many gems are really getting pumped into the market every day is pretty crazy, right? So it just kind of makes you think. And I even saw not tweet. Was it a tweet? I think it was a community post or whatever by NFT Pirates talking about, hey, like I know, like zombie, like he's like, I know Secret Rare Spider-Man's like up right now, but he's like, I'm kind of thinking about selling it and potentially getting like, because if he sold a Secret Rare Spider-Man, it's like he could afford multiple Todds, multiple Spider-Mans, or like a UR Spider-Man. He could buy multiple Supermans, Wonder Womans. He could buy a lot of the other blue chips. But I told him like, dude, don't sell it. I'm like, you were probably in literally the most exclusive club, maybe outside of Marvel Comics, Secret Rare, whatever. And I'm like, dude, you're probably part of the most exclusive club of NFTs that exists. And if anyone has any kind of like utility or fun stuff going on with like Veve fam related, like, you know, the Secret Rare Spider-Man holders are always invited. And like, just like, if you want the other stuff, like just grind for it, because I have a feeling, I don't know what his vault looks like, but I have a feeling he probably just has like 6 or 7 like really high-end grails, and he has not a lot to like reinvest into like a lot of these like lower tier quote-unquote grails. But we'll see. I don't want to like put words in his mouth or anything like that, but like I thought that was kind of an interesting perspective. It's a good problem to have, let's just say that. Pixel Trader says, some of the Pet Avengers comment you see are under 200, or some of the decon artworks under 300. That is a very good call. There were some big name guys on Twitter kind of talking about art pieces and how they're really undervalued. And there's a ton of Spider-Mans and Supermans, not Supermans, but tons of Batmans and Spider-Mans and stuff like that. But like the artwork pieces are pretty unique. There's only so many. And especially with some people might want to collect those over just Spider-Mans and Batmans and stuff. I'm not saying those will reach that potential, but like for where the prices are at for the artwork pieces, they could go up. And the Pet Avengers one, so look at Throg real quick. Throg Lightning Leap, he's actually holding pretty steady at 602. He's been kind of at that point for a while. The rare has been up 37 gems, 39 gems for Throg, and then we'll look at Alligator Loki as well. That'll pull up. Ultra rare is at 400. Comment is at 118. Dude, this was at like 58 gems like a day ago, maybe like a day and a half ago. This thing is doubled in price. Yeah, look at that. So 57 gems. 57 gems. Okay, it was a few days ago. So 57 gems on January 16th. And now he's up to, he actually peaked at 129, retracing down to 118. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, those are pretty decent investments. Like if you want to keep the Marvel tag and get some Pet Avenger stuff, like you can do that. Xerox 34. I grabbed an Ultraman Ace Mint 2011 date of the first appearance of the Seiji Hokuto. Segi Hokuto? I have no idea. I don't know what that is, but it sounds legit. I'm not sure if that's gonna like fetch a premium, but it might. Who knows? You're gonna have to find. I'm not sure how relevant that is to like the story of Ultraman. I don't know a lot about Ultraman, to be honest. So, don't sell Serial Killer. It's about the time to go up. Too late. I've already sold it, so it is what it is. But Zodi says this is the once in a lifetime app. No one will see this. It's very true. I mean, I've told some of my friends about it. Some of them are thought about investing some gems. It just sucks because when I started during golden moments, like, I mean, you could actually buy some really good stuff for just a couple hundred gems, like literally 200 gems. You could probably get 5 or 6 different NFTs, and some of them were actually pretty good. Now, I mean, you could still get 5 or 6 NFTs for like 200 gems, but they're very low. We're talking mostly comics, maybe a couple like the very low tier, like Marvel Mighties. Like, but nowadays it's like, if you really want to make money quicker, you're gonna have to invest a couple grand, in my personal opinion, unfortunately. You know, get a Joker, get a Harley FA, get a couple Marvel Mighties that you think are gonna pump in the near future, as well as some comics, and like maybe things can work out. Like if you want to make money, let's say, at a decent pace, let's say. Pixel Trader, true, still very unknown app and US only. Yeah, the majority is US. I thought they said like 80% of the money or income is coming from US. I could be completely wrong on that, but I thought that's what Veve said. Maybe that's just their users. I'm not entirely sure, but so he said we are getting spoiled, man. We are. I just wish I had more real life money to put into the app, to be honest. But I've been pretty fortunate with some drops early on when I did start. That I've been fortunate enough to like be able to afford the things I can now, like in my vault for the most part. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's look at the big losers. Let's see what's like retraced the most. Ooh, Supergirl. Yeah, she's gone back quite a bit. 1.8. Let's take a look at her really quick. So my Twitter's going like nuts. If you guys aren't like following, not following, yeah, I guess following and have Alice and Veve notified. It's Omi the Clown that runs this site. Ukomi.wiki also has a Twitter basically bot that looks at the floor of all the NFTs, and if any NFTs are on the bottom 20% of mints, it'll just notify you. And just like right now, it says a 101 DeLorean Time Machine Interactive mint 1,672 is at the floor. It's an ultra rare, so it just lets you know of a low-ish mint thing is basically selling for the floor. So that part's pretty cool. Gex, yo. What do you think about Powerpuff Girls Season 1? Let's take a look at them then. I know I'm kind of like all over the place, but... Not powder, just power. Let's take a look at them. I'm pretty bullish on them, to be honest. I like the Powerpuff Girls. I just think the app... I think it's actually a good investment, but the app is so obsessed with, I think, just the community in general, and a lot of the whales and stuff like that are so focused on like DC, Marvel, Disney and all that stuff. They are kind of looking over like Adventure Time. They're overlooking Powerpuff Girls, and as well as a few other like smaller name IPs like Back to the Future. I do think if you guys haven't watched my video, I've released it probably 3 hours ago of like NFTs you could buy for under like 250-ish gems, like between 150 to 250. It just depends on how much you really have. One of them I said is the DeLorean. It is the common, which is interactive, by the way. It's going for 160 gems. The rare is recently pumped. The ultra rare is retracing a bit, but there's only so many cars like on the app, like just in general. There's 378 left on the market. I wanted to go for the interactive one over the rare. The rare one is just static. It doesn't mean that Veve won't make it interactive later in the Veveverse or whatever they plan to do, but the common, I mean, for 160, I think it's a pretty good deal. And the other one is the Ecto 1. I do like the Ecto 1 a lot too, because the common is also interactive, but it has 1/5 of the mints. It's only got 1,000, not 50,000. Or sorry, it's got 10,000 and not 50,000, like the DeLorean, and it's exact same price, 160. So I mean, if you got 300 gems, you want to get a couple cars, I don't think these are bad to pick up. But I would probably favor just the Ecto one a bit more, just because there is literally 1/5 less of the mints, even though DeLorean is probably more of a like Hollywood, like iconic vehicle. Both are good. I don't think you can go wrong with either. But yeah, that's just me personally. And again, I think, yeah, the rare is static. The ultra rare is interactive. So I do like these pickups, at least me personally. I think these are good pickups for roughly right about now. But yeah, Powerpuff Girls, I'm bullish on. I like it. I like them. It's just, again, everything on the Veve app is profitable. It's just a matter of like when and how much it's going to go up. Joe M says, serial killers, once they airdropped the gold rewards, holding set, dumped and sold. Exactly. Once they basically lost their utility, which is just have the set, wait for the airdrop, and if you didn't get one, people just sold off their sets immediately. Their utility of basically getting an exclusive NFT just went away, so they're just like, whatever, I don't need it anymore. So that's why they sold off. And to be honest, I don't blame them. Zodi says, but it's about to happen. I was already maxing out my credits for months. Yeah, I probably should do that. To be honest, I've never really been like a big credit card person. Probably should get one, but it's that boy Keo. You heard of the Mighty Marvel's possibility of gameplay, like basically gamifying Marvel Mighties. It's definitely good potential. I think legitimately anything is possible in the Veveverse. I think it's still like way too early to ask for specifics about like, oh, can you like, if we do Marvel Mighties, can we have like this mode, and can you do tag team, and like, can you do like a cool level up ability, and can you get exclusive stuff? Like, Veve's always going to say, yes, at some point we'll probably add something like that, but like, we're just trying to secure IPs and just trying to drop NFTs at this point. Like, we're probably not even thinking about like Veveverse interactivity and like weird utility and power up abilities like yet. So it wouldn't surprise me at some point, but if we did have something like that included Marvel Mighties, and it's like a pretty fleshed out like fighting game with cool abilities, I think it's like 2025 at the earliest, to be honest. That's just my opinion. And that's like if they actually partner with like, if they outsource the game, or like the Veveverse or Metaverse to like an actual game company or a company that can handle it, because I don't think they can handle it the way they are now. Zodi, that's because they don't see it going anywhere else. Makes sense. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just the utility bit is worn out. Mendez Flips, thoughts on SR Spider-Man comic number 50? Not huge on comics. I mean, I can like run the numbers possibly. Like, it's so hard to keep up with the comics, to be honest. I'll just put in number 50. Hopefully that pulls it. Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Was it Secret Rare? I wish I could help you out, dude. Like, I have no idea if this is a good price, if that's a popular comic. I know Sleeping in Comics has a, I thought I favorited it. Let's see here. It is Veve rank. Yeah, here it is. If you guys haven't seen this, I'm actually just gonna pull it over right here. It might look a little bit weird because I do have dark mode pulled up. But yeah, it's called VeveRank.com. And Sleeping in Comics is the guy who runs the website. He has basically the list of blue chip comics that he thinks. I really like the tier list that he has. So there's like the top tiers, B tier, C tier, D tier. Amazing Spider-Man 252. He thinks it's going to be one of the most expensive just because it's an extremely low mint. But there's like the Marvel Comics Amazing Spider-Man. So B tier. I don't even know where the Spider-Man number 50 lands. Okay, so it's like, looks like it's mid B tier, maybe high B tier. Yeah, there's a lot of B tiers. So, I mean, it could be good. I don't know. I wish I could help you out, dude, but it seems pretty good. There's only 42 on the market. When it pumped up to almost 2,000, it looks like people started listing theirs. Went from 30 all the way up to 44 within like 2 or 3 days. So basically people were trying to take profits at that point. So, but it does have some history of going for over 2K, or at least like approaching close to 2K. So Not entirely sure, but I wish I could like give you more information, dude. I hope that helps. I think I can type in this chat. Let me see if this works. Does that work? I don't know. Let me know if you guys saw what I typed. If not, then I'll have to figure something else out. But yeah, vvrank.com. I would check that out if you're trying to like get more information on comics and stuff like that. All right, let me catch up with chats. Relax, dude. Might Marvel pump so hard. Who knows when the game is actually coming? Exactly. It's people are gonna get excited about Veveverse, Marvel Mighties, but like it's not gonna happen until 3 to 4 years from now. And there's so many other NFTs, more Marvel Mighties, more stuff. Like it's so funny. People talk about long-term hodls, but you know, you hodl it until something new comes along, right? Until you need to sell it to afford something else. So there's been a lot of NFTs that I'm like, this is a long-term hodl. I'm gonna hold it forever. But I'm like, damn, this IP's dropping. Like, God, I kind of need to sell some of this. Like everyone goes through that at some point. Even NFT Pirates, like he was for even a second, he was contemplating selling his Secret Rare Spidey because he wanted to buy other stuff. Let's see. I'll just put in Mighties, even though it might pull up Throg here, our frog boys. Well, if I just put in Mighty, but yeah, Marvel Mighties have gone up a lot. I don't think it's because of like the gamification. It's just like they're just the cheapest NFTs on the like the cheapest collectibles on the app. Like that's it. Like, and people are like, again, I think people have gone the way of just stacking. You know, it's like, should I buy a, you know, FA Joker at $2,000 when I can legitimately buy, you know, 50 Icarus? I think that's his name. Icarus. I've never seen the show Eternals, so, but it's like I could just stack 50 of these and just sell these as they go up. Like who knows? Like who knows which one will go up more? But I don't think it's going up because of the gamification point of it. Like I think it's just because people are trying to find the cheapest things possible to stack and just hope that they increase in the future. Just like Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, just like Batman Who Laughs, just like Zombie Captain America. I'm kind of curious where Zombie Captain America is. Zombie Captain America. Yeah, I mean, he doubled in price. He's retraced a bit, not much, but you see plus 95%. So basically his price is just doubled. Wow, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man is retracing pretty hard. He's gone sub 400. That's crazy. So the listings were from 270 all the way up to 338. Yeah, a lot of people are just taking profits at that point. Will the Trill, I have 20 gems. What do you think is the play? Just wait for drops, dude. If that's all you have, I just participate in comic drops. That's all you can do. Like, to be honest, I've won probably 2 comic drops since I started Veve, like a little over 3 months ago. So my win rate is like 4% on comics, and I've never gotten a rebound ever. So most of the time I've had luck is usually just the collectible drops. Mostly blind box, I do really well with those. But if they are like a select your NFT type drop, like the most recent like Ron English one where you have to like pick which rarity you want, I do okay on those. Not too well, but not as good as like the blind box ones. Because the blind box, all I have to do is just spam tap one spot, and I've been a long time gamer, and just spam tapping one spot I'm totally used to that. So but yeah, if you only have 20 gems, just play the drops, dude. And like, if you can invest a bit more, try and get to 50, because that's how much the like Marvel drops are, I believe, typically. So try and get a bit more if you can. Participate in all the comic drops and flip your way up, yeah. And if you find yourself like not winning drops and you legitimately can't put another $1 in, just find some like really inexpensive comics. Just hope they kind of like pump a bit. I don't know. But even then, like even a $7 comic isn't, I mean, there's not too many comics below 20 gems. What do you think about Amazing Spider-Man #3 Ultra Rare? #3 Ultra Rare. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with comics. Like, I really wish I could help you guys out more with the comics, but I haven't played that close attention to it. Like, again, I could probably pull it up here. Let's do #3. Is it Amazing Spider-Man? Incredible Hulk? Amazing Spider-Man number 3, ultra rare. A lot of people, I've watched a lot of videos of people saying that the ultra rares are really undervalued compared to, in correlation of the secret rares, for the most part. It's hard to say because, like, if you would have asked me this 24 hours ago, before it pumped from basically, what, 130 all the way up to 240, might have been a different story, because we're talking, literally yesterday it was at 110, then it pumped to 250, and now it's kind of like plateaued off a bit. So maybe that's not the end of it. It has no history of going that high. Like I said, this is why it's kind of hard to read comics, because like you do see the supply, like the supply just plummeted, but the price only went up $20. Like supply went down by half, price goes up not even by half. It goes up by, like, I don't know, 20%, and now it's going up even higher. So I mean, supply is going down. There doesn't seem to be any signs of people taking profits at this point, or at least not aggressively. It's not like it hit 230 and all of a sudden all the listings start skyrocketing back up, similar to collectibles. But again, comics are just more of a slow burn, and they plateau, they pump, they like plateau for weeks and then go up. Like, it's really hard to read, in my personal opinion. At least if you're just staring at graphs all day like I am. Oof, we got a crash. Give me a sec here. Sorry. Cool. Yeah, let me get through chats. Zola3, aka Trap Boy Dior. What do you think about the DC Robin drop? Was that like announced, or are you just talking like Robin in general? Robin. I know they're not all technically called Robin, but let's see what Robins are doing. This Robin's actually gone down a bit. It's only at 300. I do think this one should be a bit more, though, than it currently is. 13,000 editions, but it is an FA. It's like the FA Robin, or it doesn't have like an artist tied to the name or whatever. But Will the Troll, how do you feel about Catgirl, the one on the scooter? I'm not too bullish on her. Like, there could be a point where she's like a little undervalued, like in the sense of like she could go up a bit, but it's like I just can't imagine her just like hard pumping out of nowhere. Am I just like misspelling it? I just put cat and just find it. Catwoman, Catgirl, Catwoman, right? Yeah, Catwoman. I thought you meant Batgirl, but then there's like Catwoman. Not entirely sure. The one on the scooter. So that's Batwoman. No, that's Batgirl. Did I misread that? Catgirl. No, it's Batgirl. Is she not called that? Am I just crazy right now? And we got another crash. Whatever. So Batgirl, Bat. What is that one called? Let me look it up on my phone. What is that one called? I don't know why the, it doesn't seem like economy.wiki's picking it up. I don't know is it named something else? Give me a sec here, I'm pulling it up on my phone. Go to the Artist Alley, because I know which one you're talking about. I just completely forgot the name of it. DC Artist Alley. Yeah, it's just called Batgirl. I just don't know why it's not pulling it up. It's only pulling up this one. That is strange. If I type in Artist Alley? Or Alley? This is so weird. Why is it not pulling it up? Alright, well, let me just take a look at, okay, on the phone. We can actually pull it up here. Give me a sec. There. got a little do not disturb going on. All right, so I got it pulled up here on the right side. So we're looking at Batgirl. The floor's looking kind of thin, which is nice. It's hard to compare data because I don't know like how many listings that there were like prior or anything like that. Are there any like good low mints to pick up? I always like to look at the low mints just for funsies. Occasionally, you should do that. Like if you're planning on like picking up, obviously like an NFT or something like that, I tend to like look at the low listings because sometimes you pay 20% more or something like that, and you can actually get like a really low mint. That doesn't seem to be the case here. This one's the closest to what the floor is currently. There's a 660 for 160. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, because this is the one you're talking about, right? I would imagine. This Batgirl, I don't know. I'm not too bullish on her mainly because she's like not FA. How's Hot Girl doing? How's she pumping? Because if all the other Artist Alley ones are pumping, like she could do well. Hot Girl's up that much. What's the other one again? Supergirl. So it's not pulling up the other Supergirl, so that's kind of weird. Oh well. I hope that helped. All right, let's close that. I kind of hope that that helped, but I don't know, it's not pulling it up for whatever reason. I'm not too bullish on it. I wouldn't stack those. I do think there are, in my opinion, better things to stack rather than Batgirl on the scooter. So something like literally like Roots or Sue Storms or something like that, at least in my personal opinion. Sacco21 says, uncommon Deadpool and USPS stamps, what do you think? Not too, I used to think like USPS stamps would do really well, but if I did dead, well, just type in dead, it actually pulls both of them up, right? So Deadpools are being pumped currently. They're just retracing right now for the most part. So the rare was actually one I was going to recommend people get in my last video, but like it actually went up pretty significantly. It's still an FA Deadpool at the end of the day. I would personally go for like the uncommon rather than like the common or the other ones, but again, these are retracing. So if we keep going down, Day of the Dead stamps, they've gone up pretty good, especially the rare. Honestly, I haven't paid that close attention to the stamps recently. I used to have them a while ago, but I think I sold them off like 2 weeks ago or something. Maybe it was like a week ago, but it's just crazy to think that like when you sell something a week ago, that's like considered a long time ago in like Veve terms, because so much stuff happens within a day, let alone like 12 hours or something like that. Not too bullish on the stamps. They just seem kind of boring, and I think I agree with Randy Chavez's sentiment of like, I think people are more interested in characters and people rather than just things, right? I just think like your average age group of like your typical stamp collector or people that would like really pay a premium are probably out of the age range of people that would be interested in something like VE or just NFTs in general. Like I could be wrong about that, but I'd be more bullish into like Deadpool or something like that. So I would say Deadpool in that instance, like over stamps, if that's what you're asking. Pixel Trader asks, what do y'all think will be the next collectible drop announcement? I think it will either be a continuation of the Fantastic Four, so they'll do either Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, or the Human Torch. I would like to see a brand new IP. They still have yet to announce Labyrinth. I remember they kind of like said that they were partnering with Labyrinth and they were going to do a drop for it at some point in Q1 of this year. So Labyrinth could be the next one. It really depends. But things do seem like really slow right now. In January, like we've had lots of comic drops. We've had Sue Storm. And is there any collectibles that I'm like overthinking or like overlooking right now since the beginning of this year? I don't remember. Sander Fisher, VAW, FYI. VAW, I don't know what that means. VA? I don't know what that means. So I'm not entirely sure. Illmatic, Sleeping in Comics is the GOAT. He is. He really knows his stuff. And especially if you want to know any information comic related. I mean, the dude made his own website to kind of help us out with figuring out like tiers of comics and stuff. Cause like I know, all right, Amazing Spider-Man #1, Fantastic Four #1, and Marvel Comics #1. You know, it's like, okay, those are the big three, but then there's a lot of other good ones that are either like high B tier that are in the A tier or like low S tier. Like there's a lot of good comics other than just like those three, obviously, right? Hamoon, welcome back, dude. I like seeing the same names over and over. Love the content. What do you think about Penguin? I think it's underpriced. Let's take a look at Penguin really quick. Don't tell me I misspelled Penguin. Just gonna put Peng. There we go. Yeah, he's going down a bit. He does have some of the lowest editions of like, because I think common or say FA Joker has 75,000 or 7,500 editions. The Dick Sprang Joker has like 3,250. So like this is on the same tier, I believe, of the rare. So it's pretty low. A little bit of retracement going on. This is its all-time high. So again, I do think it's undervalued. Like you could probably buy one right now. It might pump to 2K in a couple weeks or something like that, maybe a bit longer, but undervalued. I just think there might be some better moves to be had for like 1.4K in my personal opinion. Probably Harley, probably stacking some of the cheaper NFTs and playing the stack that way. Not entirely sure, but I mean, I like him. I don't own him. I do think he's overlooked a lot because everyone just says Harley and Joker, but I do like Penguin. I do like Penguin. T-Wum, how to buy. You go to Veve.com. Not Veve.com. You download the Veve app on your phone. Not Veve.com. You can go to Veve.com and probably check out some more information, but if you actually want to buy NFTs, you need to go to the Veve app, just Veve, and just download it on your phone. I would scan around, look at other content creators, all that stuff, and figure it out, man. The Hot Tub channel, what's up? Oh, Slayfin, ICP. Insane Clown Posse? Is that what you mean? I don't know what that means. I think that's what ICP stands for. Sorry, I really jumped ahead in chat. Josh Brunstetter. I've gained substantially, but my biggest regret was selling Zombie Hunter Spider-Man when it was under mint price. Yes, that, yeah, box price. The box price of it was however much. And yeah, I was not around when Zombie Hunter Spider-Man happened, but again, it's, you know, it's all hindsight 2020. If you sold it for below box price, that means that was probably a long time ago. And it's like, how could you have known, like, oh, if I just hold this for 4 months, that it's going to go up to 400 gems? Like, there's no way you could have known that, you know? Like, no one knew that these prices would just go absurdly high to where they are now. The Hot Tub channel, okay, now I'm caught up. It's not on there. It's the same FA as Backroll, maybe a name conflict in Wiki. I think so too. It's the exact same name. So it could be a bit of an issue in that sense. Josh Brunsetter says, Day of the Dead stamps was my first big gem flip. Dude, that's solid. I remember I got a couple of the stamps during the 12 days of Veve. I wasn't early enough for the Day of the Dead stamps, but that's solid. And that's probably some of the best like ROI, you know, gem for gem that you could do, because those stamps were like 6 gems, right? They're even cheaper than comics. And sometimes if you land a pretty solid one, you can flip them for 30, 40, 50 gems, or if you get some of the higher rated ones, you know, over 100, 150 gems. So that's pretty solid. Let's see here. Dafa Alefrisi, sorry. Can you open Adventure Time, please? Sure. I do think I've mentioned it multiple times before. I've mentioned it in my last video, my last stream. I do think they are undervalued as is. It might take them a while to pump up. I do think people might need to like chill out on Disney, Marvel, and DC for a while. Like once that happens, when they start kind of plateauing, people are going to be looking at other stuff. It's hard because like there was a lot of obsession around like the season 1 NFTs. I mean, there still is, but it's just crazy to think that like you have something like Lumpy Space Princess, although it's kind of a goofy looking NFT. I haven't watched Adventure Time. I've seen clips of it and like memes, but not necessarily like the show from beginning to end. But it's just crazy to think like Lumpy Space Princess and stuff like that, like things that literally have 3,000 mints, and it's a rare, and it's the second set that's ever been released on Veve. It's Cartoon Network, like that it's still just chilling below 300 gems. It's kind of crazy to me, but So peaked at 284. People started taking profits. Let me get rid of this. People started taking profits once it started basically hitting, 284. So it went from 54 listens up to 65. So is it a good buy like right now? Maybe see if it just like keeps chilling out. Maybe it'll retrace down to like 200-ish. And at that point, it'll be a good time to pick it up. But that's a good one. I do think Finn, even though Finn has the most mints, I think of pretty much any of the Adventure Time ones. I mean, he's the main character, right? So anytime you have the main character of any kind of popular show or anything like that, I do think it's a good deal. It's kind of surprising, like, even though the listings have been going up, Finn has been retaining his price, and maybe it's just kind of strange. Maybe people have just been relisting, like maybe people just kind of pulled the floor, relisted for higher, and the floor has been just kind of going up very quickly. Not entirely sure. That's kind of interesting to see. Because when we zoom in like that, and that's actually kind of why I sometimes like to really zoom in, like look at the last 24 hours and then like look at the entire history of the NFT itself since the beginning. So 117. So it's went down like 9 listings, but the price is still going down alongside it. It honestly would not surprise me if something like Finn Mertens and or Jake the Dog hit like 550 like in a week. It would not surprise me at all. Again, not financial advice, I'm not saying that, but it's like I do think Adventure Time still has yet to have its time for its pump. You know, Princess Bubblegum seems kind of chill. Don't really know much about the show again, but BMO, Ice King, I know people were pretty bullish on Ice King. 300 gems, that just seems a bit crazy to me. Yeah. Let me catch up with chat really quick. Okay, same name. John Brunstetter had a really low mint father stamp and sold. Nice. Congrats, dude. Hopefully you got a little premium out of it. You got something pretty significantly higher than the floor, which would be cool. Let's keep pulling this out. Wow, people are really trying to people are like, whoa, Ice King's at 300. Let me just start listing literally 30 extra listings. Yeah. So the listings basically went up like 60-70% once it hit 340. So just expect it to go down. And that's the other thing too. Like we can look at the price here in a bit, but Rolly Vintage says, what do you think about the DeLorean NFT? I just covered that earlier. I think it's an awesome buy, at least the common, because I do think it's interactive. But I think it's a great buy. I personally like the Ecto one a bit more just because it literally has a fifth of the mints. Ecto 1 has 10,000 mints and DeLorean, the common, both commons have, this one has 50,000. I wasn't that early for DeLorean, but I did watch the most recent video with NFT Pirates, and he said when DeLorean initially dropped, especially the common, there was memes that 50,000 mints was a ton, and there was memes that people were like, oh, you might as well just throw your DeLorean in the trash. Like, there's so many mints, like, why would you even own one? Like, you're better off just throwing it away or whatever. But I mean, look at it now. I mean, was there a point where it was probably selling below box price? Yeah, oh, for sure. Because it said it was, so store price was, you guys can see that. So store price was 30 gems. And does look like, yeah, probably people were selling it for below, 30 gems at one point, which is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, I do think, I do like the DeLorean. I do like Ecto 1 as a purchase because there's only so many vehicles on the app right now. I think there's only 3, right? DeLorean, Ecto 1, and I think I'm missing one. If you guys remember it, let me know. But if that's the only 2 vehicles, I would at least snag a common if you can. DeLorean 1 for 1, 100K. It's not a meme. Not a meme at all, guys. Says the Hot Tub channel. Brandon Barr, I bought You Are Deadpool before it mooned. That's good, dude. I did suggest people to buy some Deadpools last night. I'm glad they pumped. It was basically like Deadpool or Zombie Hunter Spider-Mans. That's, someone asked me that question right before I ended the stream. I'm like, I'm gonna say Spider-Man's, but like you can't go wrong with Deadpool either. Again, everything on Veve is gonna go up in price. It's just a matter of how much. So it's like, all right, what do you think of the DeLorean 6-1? This one, yeah, common. Yeah, I've been talking about that. Everyone's talking about the DeLorean. I mean, if people have been talking about it a lot, it sucks that, you know, it's no longer 90 gems and now it's basically double the price. But even at 160, I think it's a good steal. What we really want to see is the listings. So there was 446 or 467. Now it's down to 343, 378. Let me pull it up really quick. See what we can do. Back to the Future. Is it this one? No. All right, let's pull it up. All right, so we've got the Back to the Future. We want the common. What is the floor looking like? Pretty solid wall at 165. But see, this is something you'll tend to notice, like with these NFTs, is like you'll see a wall and it'll start running. Like it jumps up 5 gems. There's like a small wall at 170. Then it goes 175, then 180, then like it really starts running. That's why sometimes these NFTs just kind of pop up on people like, oh, Groot's, there's walls at 40 gems and 42 and 50 or you know, or in 44 gems. There's like giant walls, but when they break through that wall, it jumps a lot. So, you know, 150 Groots, it'll stay the same price. But then once it breaks that wall, the next 150 Groots, the price will like almost go double. Not exactly, not with Groots currently, but that's just how it is. Sometimes once you go through that barrier and people think that price is just going to sit there forever, it just really starts running, which is crazy. So I think DeLorean's a pretty solid pickup. How many listings are there? There's 430. What does this say? So this is lagging behind. I would actually maybe wait. It's probably retracing pretty hard right now because it says 160. It's 161. I know we would have to see on this. Any low mints? Again, I'm not even a low mint collector, but occasionally it's like if you're gonna spend 160 gems, sometimes you'd be surprised that like there's a really low mint for 200. So it's like, oh, I just spent 25% more and I can get an absurdly low mint. Doesn't seem to be the case here. Nah, I'm not seeing one. At least like one that's like low 200s or anything like that. So, oh well. Go back here. But yeah, I like the DeLorean. I prefer Ecto 1 just because it's literally a fifth of the mints. Mickey's, dude. I don't know why it's pulling up Mickey's right now, but Mickey's are doing very, very well. Retracing a bit now. Like the whole market is retracting a bit. I think people are taking profits. People are done buying for now. So Ecto 1 is the exact same. It's a common as well. It has only 123 listings instead of 400 and whatever, and it only has a fifth of the mints. So if I had to buy, if you could only buy one vehicle for now, I would say Ecto 1. We can actually look up Ecto 1 now too. Just kind of like take a look at the floor really quick. Sorry if I'm behind on chat a bit, guys, but is this the right Ghostbusters? Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna pull it up here on the left side. So Ecto 1, not the ultra rare. We want the common interactive. It's looking, the floor is looking thinner than the DeLorean. Yeah, floor is looking pretty thin. And again, it's mainly because it literally has a fifth of the mints. It has about a third of the amount of listings that the DeLorean has right now, because I think DeLorean had like 430. This one has 123. I like the Ghostbusters one. I will say DeLorean's probably more well known, like to more people than the Ecto 1, but I think they're both solid. I'm thinking common zombie Captain America might be a bit overvalued and overlooked. I think it's a little late for that. I think people have kind of picked up on that. I mean, the price has literally doubled in the last 24 hours for common zombie Captain America. I think it's the price is just kind of finally updated, but prior it was 70 gems. So let's look at yesterday. So yesterday, January 18th, was at 70 gems, pumped all the way up to 185. So it basically did a little bit more than double, right? Yeah, so it basically doubled in price. You can see the listings go from 259 all the way back up to 350, 382. And yeah, so you could probably see here, like there's maybe a lot of people that bought here around the like high 60, low 70 mark, and they've been holding maybe. And now when it finally got up to here, they're just selling. They're just trying to get rid of them at this point. Nice little secondary pump though here. Went up to 150. But again, I think people are just taking profits at this point. So is it still like a pretty decent buy? I would let it retrace a bit more, but for 140, I kind of would rather get it like an uncommon Deadpool, in my opinion. It's like 10 or 15 gems more, I think, for like the same price, but that's just me personally. Hardman says thanks. Yeah, I'm kind of catch up in chat. Dafa says thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah. Josh Breadstetter, the stamp I got over 400 for it. Nice. So you must have got like the ultra rare version or whatever of the stamp. And the rest is history, but my first entry was August and pulled an ultra rare Marvel Comics #1. I still have it to this day. Dude, that is such a good call. Where's it at right now? Let's go to comics. Where's the ultra rare at? So you're sitting pretty with the Marvels, ultra rare. Almost up to $4 grand. That's pretty nice. It's for not a bad investment for 7 gems. Going 7 gems all the way up to $4 grand. That's pretty solid, dude. Congrats. Yeah, that's definitely a long-term hold, or like a long-time hold. And again, just kind of if there are certain NFTs that you want to buy and you could like 1-for-1 it, if you can sell the Marvel comic and like get a Superman eventually or something like that. It might take a while for Marvel Comics, like the ultra rare, to catch up to that point, but when you kind of get to that point, that's if you want to have an exit plan. Like it's kind of hard, right? At least that's what I try to do. If I do have an NFT that I really like, but I don't love it, like I'm not going to hold it forever. Like for me, like Steamboat Willies, I'm not going to sell those for a very long time. Luckily, I do have an extra common, but I do have the whole set. And like those are ones I'm going to hold very, very long term. But I still have a few NFTs that I'm like, all right, if something better comes along, or if the price just lines up with another NFT I do want, like I will sell it. So. Thank you, bro. Josh Bunsetter, I snagged 2 Elses at launch. Then everyone else had server issues, all legit, no bots. Nice, dude. Dude, I got it. That's my first NFT I ever got was Elsa. My friend got me into Veve. He's like, dude, you need to get into Veve. He actually spotted me $100, so good on him. He's like, dude, you can pay me back, whatever. Like, it's solid. He's like, Disney drops are gonna happen in like literally a couple days. Like, watch a bunch of videos. Like, here's some guys you can watch. I'm like, all right, watch all the videos. And like for me, whenever I get into something like a new hobby or something I'm like really interested in, like I fully immerse myself in it. Like I listen to podcasts or like YouTube videos, like while I'm working out, while I'm doing chores, like while I'm at work and stuff like that. Like I just completely immerse myself, which is why I feel like even though I've only been out on the app for 3 months, I've watched hundreds of hours and listened to hundreds of hours of videos. And I do have some experience with like a little bit of stocks, like real life, not really, but mostly just like doing video game not marketing, but like playing the market on video games, as well as doing like, I used to do TF2 trading back in the day, like Team Fortress 2 hat trading, which is in my version, in a way, it's kind of like NFT trading. Like, all right, it's basically, there's a limited run of certain unusual hats. Technically you can kind of make more, but there's only so many crates that you can kind of unbox from and blah, blah. Anyway, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. So I'm like used to selling digital assets for hundreds, if not low thousands of dollars. So this is kind of in my wheelhouse of experience. It's a bit different because a lot of it is randomized and stuff like that. But yeah, I just completely immersed myself with it. I'm like, dude, this is great. So I won an Elsa, sold it shortly after, so I had enough for Walt, because at the time, like, and even now, like I don't have a ton of money to pour into the app right now. Like I'm just, trying to get through month to month. And no, it's not. Let's see here. Thank you, bro. Snack 2L says, yeah, okay. Alpha Male the Only. Did you already cover the UR Steamboat Willie? I have not. I mean, I talked about it, but let's see here. Steamboat. I think, you know what? It's because it doesn't go by Steamboat Willie. on here. It goes by like all together now, right? All together. If it'll pull it up, there it is. I mean, I own one. It kind of sucks because it has recently pumped. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me just talk about as like a good point to buy right now? I mean, when the graph looks like this, it's hard to say it's a good buy right now. Mickey has, and I've owned this since the drop, so I got extremely lucky with that, and I just held it the whole time. I was really considering selling a Steamboat at like 5.5 to 6K, and basically one for wanting a Todd and maybe having a few gems left over. In hindsight, that would have been amazing considering how much Todd has pumped recently. But yeah, I've just held it, but it has this thing where like it'll pump and go down, and it'll pump and go down. Like, you know, I will say, like, there's, for some reason, there are a lot of paper hand altogether now, but as we can see here, it's going up quite a bit. Looks like the listings haven't really moved much, but like right now, I think people are just in selling mode right now. People are trying to liquidate gems, maybe for MTL, which I think they have already announced that it was delayed, right? I don't know if it was Immutable X or MTL, but not entirely sure, so. Elias Roeder. Do you think we are nearing the end of this pump? Currently holding R2D2 since drop and considering taking profits. Any price predictions or thoughts? R2D2 is already down quite a bit, isn't it? I would say just for the fact that R2D2 has just touched 9K, I would hold it personally. I really don't know what your like gem situation is or how many other NFTs you own or things like that. Like, because R2D2 is at 8K. Okay, so he's actually returned back. I thought he went down to like 7.5, and so he's returning back up. But again, like, also don't doubt the rebound. Sometimes people are waiting for the pump to stop, as you should, and then waiting for the price to go low, and then they buy up again. So to be honest, even though, like, I mean, the listings went from 157 all the way up to 188. So there's 30 more listings, and it's rebounding pretty well. To be honest, I would hold it. It is the FA Star Wars. I'm trying to remember which one was technically first. I thought people said C3PO was technically the first one minted, like over R2D2, but at least like the first Star Wars FA, but it's hard because they were in the same set. But it's similar to Rizzo and Todd. They're the same set. They're both Batman, but Todd was technically minted first. So I could have sworn it was C3PO because it's usually the common that's minted first, but still R2D2 is such a huge deal. I would not be surprised if C3PO follows suit. I think R2D2 is mostly pumping because it does have 2/3 of the mint that C3PO has, but it doesn't mean C3PO can't go up to like 6K or something like that, like, you know, or even 5K, like on the low end, who knows. But to be honest, I would hodl that. But if you are trying to 1-for-1 it, you can maybe get like a Superman or something like that. Superman, I think, has been retracing a bit too. So, Alpha Mel, the only. I've been struggling with selling UR Steamboat to complete 4 sets I wanted. You've been struggling to selling the UR Steamboat. Okay, you're probably one of the paper hands, so I'm just kidding. If you need it, and you actually have a plan, right? So like, you're not just selling it, just sell it. Like, you have a plan to get something else, which is smart. There's been tons of times where I just sell stuff just to sell it. I'm like, I'm kind of bored of this, and I just sell it, and then before you know it starts pumping, and like, I'm just holding the gems for multiple days, and I'm like, I could have just held the NFT, and it's already gone up 100 gems since I sold it, and you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what your mint number is. I mean, you could probably heavily undercut the Steamboat Willie and like just sell it quick, but then again, you know, you're taking a loss. So do you see Steamboat Willie common and uncommon retracing at all for a buy-in opportunity? What do you think is a good range to buy in? Let's see, there's the whistle, so a happy whistle, and then what's the other one named? What if I just type in Mickey? I think that's right? I think if I just type in Mickey, it should pull them both up. Mickey, there we go. So Jaunty Jig and Happy Whistle. Jaunty Jig was at 1,400 at one point, very briefly. I'm not sure where Happy Whistle ended up at and like stopped and like retraced. It's hard to say. Let's look at Jaunty Jig really quick. And to be honest, you could buy one right now, and it might go up to 2K in a month or something like that. Who knows? Maybe a few weeks. It's really, really hard to say. So yeah, it stopped at 1,300, I guess. I thought it went up to 1,400, but maybe I'm wrong. How far would it have to retrace? It depends on your gem situation. Like, I don't know if you're really tight on gems, like maybe wait till it retraces down to 900, 800, and it could bounce back up. It really depends on like the total listings as well. If you're seeing the total listings really fly up, you know, I would wait. But now could be a good time to buy. I mean, who knows? Like, it's hard to say because like this pump, I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but it kind of did. At the same time, but like at the end of the day, like you could legitimately buy any NFT on the app, and 2 months from now, it'll be worth more than it was. Almost guaranteed, almost. Maybe except with the exceptions of certain ones, but like it's hard to not say buy in, you know. So Jin, I wish I could help you out like more. Like I just don't know your gem situation, so it's kind of hard to just give a flat amount because not everyone has a bunch of gems like some other content creators or NFT holders. Like that's why I try to ask questions like, how many gems do you actually have? And like, well, if you only have 800 gems, I guess you're gonna have to wait till it goes down to 800. Like, but if you got tens of thousands, I would just say like, just grab it now. Like, you don't need to wait. You can maybe wait till it retraces a bit more, but just keep an eye on it once it starts going back up. Or if this listing starts dipping again, that's the time to buy. Rolly's Vintage asks, do you know when is going to work the Omi wallet in the Veve app? When is Omi wallet going to work in the Veve app? Not entirely sure. I haven't really followed Omi that closely, like the integration process and all that stuff. I don't own any Omi. Like I would love to own some at some point, but just like figuring out the whole like MetaMask wallet and all this series of steps. And again, like if I don't have a ton of money to throw into Veve, like I don't have a ton of money to throw into Omi either. Like I would love to liquidate like a lot of my stuff that I have in NFTs. Like if they had like NFT to Omi and not Omi to NFT, like that would be amazing. But I don't think they have that planned just yet. So Afamel, the only still contemplating on it. Selling your Steamboat Willie, ultra rare. I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, just the fact that, and like Steamboat Willie could have just been like a low A tier, like maybe even a high B tier NFT. But I think because there's so many content creators that we're just hyping it up so much, calling it basically a grail, posting it on Twitter. This is the first time that they had like animation and sound like synced up for the first time, like basically for cartoons and stuff. Like that's a huge classical moment for an historical moment for Disney and also just the world in general of cartoons. Like I think just the fact that that's one thing I'm going to do is like when the community says something repeatedly for a long period of time, like Todd, like you don't deny it, you just invest in it. Like the community will just will it into fruition eventually. And sure enough, that's what happened with Steamboat Willie. Like it definitely easily could have been like a high B tier NFT, but like because people are saying it's blue chip, all this stuff, people have been talking about it, tweeting about it. Tons of content creators said it was blue chip. Give it enough time. Now it's at 10K basically, and it's pumping hard. So I'm not selling mine. That's just me personally, but again, if you do have a plan to complete a set, we'll see. Yeah, exactly. You landed them on drop, so it's all profit, which is great. The real thing is like if you're gonna sell it, I'm trying to think what I would do. If I sold my Steamboat Willie ultra rare, I would try and either get a Todd or I would secure like Superman. How much is Superman right now? 7.2. He's actually being discounted like quite a bit right now. Like if I could, like if I sold Steamboat Willie, I would probably get like Superman and like FA Joker. I'm not sure how many gems, like how the math works with like the with the 8.5% fee. I mean, I'm just call it 10%. So like let's just say you got 9K out of it. Yeah, you could probably squeeze in like a Superman and like an FA Joker right now. Like that's personally that's what I would do. Or like you could do Superman and like with the last 2K you have like stack something really really inexpensive and just hope it goes up in price, like some of the Marvel Mighties, Groot, things like that. So maybe Sue Storm. Hollowell, I don't know. Jason Fabok, Batman's a bit underpriced right now. Let's check it out. Let's check out Jason. Fabok. I don't know, he's going up a bit. 5,500, 94 listings. He has trace. I mean, the fact that he went up to 850 is a good sign. Underpriced. It's such a general term. Like that's the thing. It's like people say stuff is overpriced, but like what time range are we talking about here? Is it underpriced because I think it's going to be worth, you know, 5K or 20K in 5 to 10 years? People are saying, when people just say, oh, this is overpriced, it's like, all right, well, what timeline are we talking here? Like, are you talking about a long-term hold, or are you talking like it's underpriced now because it's going to pump to 1,500 in a week and that's the perfect time to sell because then it's going to be stagnant for the next 6 months? Like, who knows? So I'm not doubting you. I'm not saying it's not. Like, I think any of the Batmans are a pretty good pickup right now because, again, the trend line for pretty much all the Batmans are up and to the right. Jason Fabok has been a little bit more flatline, but I think we can kind of expect that with most of the Batmans except for like Todd Rizzo and like Becky or something like that. Becky Cloonan. What would you recommend to stack? Ben Rasho asks. Depends on how many gems you have. That's like the big question because there's a huge difference between having 500 gems, 5,000 gems, and more than that. Like there's a big difference. That's a huge range. So like if you have enough money to stack multiples of something that costs like 500 800 gems, like there's some good suggestions there. But if you only have enough to like stack a handful of things that are like 50 to 80 gems, then like that's kind of a different topic. But Ben, let me know how many, just theoretically, you don't have to say how many you actually have, but like if there was a theoretical amount that you had that you wanted to stack, that would probably help me give a better answer. Meant 45.96 on Steamboat Ultra Rare. Nice. Not sure if that number has any like significance or anything like that, but it's cool. Weintraub, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Or Wintrob, I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Marvel Mighty versus Adventure Time stacking. Marvel more popular, but that tax hurts. Thoughts? Again, it kind of depends on the gems and like which Marvel Mighties you're trying to stack. Because as of right now, a lot of the Marvel Mighties are. And there's a couple good videos by the most recent one by Foster, as well as who was it? Cody Thrive, I believe. Kind of talked roughly about the same topic. I'm not very bullish on the Eternals. Like, I could be wrong. I don't know much about the show. I didn't really care to like look them up too much. I just thought like, yeah, it's Marvel, but it's like not very popular. So like, who cares? You know? Not entirely sure. So give me 1 sec here. See if any of my other stuff is sold yet. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. That is a no-go, but that's fine. Cool. Yeah, the tax hurts. I think the app, or just people in general, I think are really gung-ho on like Marvel and DC and Disney and all that stuff. So part of me wants to say Marvel Mighties. Like, I think it would make sense. Like Mr. Fantastic. Like, I think it's actually not a bad idea to stack some of the Fantastic Four Marvel Mighties, because if they just announce Mr. Fantastic as the next NFT for this series, like with Sue Storm, he will go up. When they announce the thing, he'll go up. Human Torch is already up quite a bit. I would say he's probably like the most popular Fantastic Four member, at least to like your average person that doesn't know a lot, just because he like looks the coolest. Maybe the Thing, because he's like the comedic relief. Mr. Fantastic probably has the most like story and like lore tied to him, because he is part of like the Illuminati and a bunch of other stuff. So like maybe for nerds, Mr. Fantastic would be like a better buy. But Again, you could legitimately buy any of these, and these would do really, really well. Captain America's, I think I suggested like Sam Wilson would be, or John F. Walker would be a good stack. Steve Rogers, I'm not sure. Again, like I said, like if you only have 500 gems, like buying 2 Steve Rogers is not really a stack, but you could buy some multiples of like Mr. Fantastic or something like that. I do like Adventure Time, but it's just like not really moving much. I do think longer term, like medium term, like Adventure Time could do really well, but in the shorter term, I think Marvel Mighties might do better. But who knows? Alpha Mel, I got Omi on Bit4x, then transferred to my Veve wallet. Gotcha. Yeah, I know like how to do it, but again, I honestly just don't have the liquid, like the fiat to just do it. Like a lot of my net worth, let's say, is tied up in Veve, just because I've gotten really lucky with drops. I've done a lot of flipping and all that stuff. So I would have to figure out, like, I don't really want to do MTL and like pay the capital gains fee and then like a fee on top of that and then transfer it over to all that stuff. Like I will get Omi at some point. I'll just have to figure it out. I would love for them to do NFT to Omi, but it sounds like they only have plans for Omi to NFT right now. Hello, Mephisto NFT says, hello, got an uncommon holiday Groot. 374 for 100 gems today. What do you think it is currently worth? Well, I think the floor right now is worth a little bit less than that, isn't it? So you said you got the uncommon, solid, it's animated. For 100 gems today, that's the floor. So you got a good deal. How much extra is it worth? It really depends. We would have to just, let's do this actually. I can pull it up here really quick. Let's see. Sorry, my mind just blanked. What am I looking up? Groot. It's kind of interesting. He has his own thing here. So let me pull it up here. Let me just turn on Do Not Disturb, just because I'm getting spam pinged on Twitter. So cool. So we got Holiday Groots here. We'll pull up the uncommon, which again, I think it's the only animated uncommon NFT on the platform right now. So good on you for getting that steal. And dude, you can already see it. Groot is very close to just running at this point. Like you can see here, there's 5 sales and it only goes up like 7 gems, but then like 15 more sales, it goes up 10, and then it just keeps accelerating, right? Pretty big wall at 120, but not too bad. Typically what I do is I just look at the current price of the other one. So you see that like a 3 something, 374. I just look at the price of the other ones in that general like area. So the cheapest one on like this initial page is like 250. And 230, okay. Yeah, in order for you to like not even sell it quickly or whatever, like there are lower mints than yours going for 230. So like if you're trying to sell it now and try to get a quick flip profit, that's assuming there are people actually looking at low mints. Like you could maybe put up like 199 or something like that, just make a quick like 70 gems at it, or you could just hold it long term. I mean, it's not the best mint, but it's a solid mint. It'll definitely go for above floor, but like how much more, it depends on how much people, like other people are selling similar mint values for that amount. So I hope that helped. Like I can't give you like an exact number. Maybe start with 199 or like maybe like 210, just see what happens. At least if you're trying to get rid of it now. Alpha Mel, the only. Thank you. I appreciate the input on that. I don't want to sell, but the sets I want will be worth it, I believe. Okay. Are you trying to stack like master collector points and stuff? True, I was going to complete the DC cover girls as well. I did land Sue Storm, common drop. And you are on 4-minute rebound, dude. Jealous of people that actually get rebounds. I've never gotten a rebound on Veve ever. 500 to 1,000 gems. That's a pretty decent range. Stacks. I mean, Groots are running away right now. Like it sucks because like they're pumping hard. Like a lot of them are basically already double the price. But I thought I had like a sheet for this. Maybe not. Some of the Marvel Mighties might be pretty solid. I could have sworn there was one I had. So 1,000 gems. So if you had like 500 and you're looking to like hard stack, I mean, common Groots I think aren't too bad. Like if you're trying to stack like north of double digits, I think Groots aren't too bad. The Mighties, let's look at those. There's not that many NFTs now, like below 100 gems. Like there aren't that many nowadays. I'm sure there's some good comics to stack, but again, I'm just not familiar with like comics at all whatsoever. But if you got closer to 1,000 gems, I do think possibly the Sam Wilson and or like John F. Walker is a good stack, because there's a lot of hype happening around Captain America currently. Who knows? Like that might have died off a bit. It's just hard because trends like live and die within like 2 days on Veve, and it's hard. It's like, all right, do I want to keep chasing this trend? Is this still a thing that's happening? Not entirely sure. Like I think Deadpool might not be bad. I think I went too fast there. Yeah, Deadpool. So like, I like the uncommon personally a bit more because he has this like thumb up and all that stuff. I realized like the comment's pumping pretty hard, but I'm trying to think of some other things to. It's funny because I was thinking about stacking Zombie Captain America, but that's already kind of pumped and gone away at this point. There was something I texted my friend about. I told him, I was like, oh, once I'm done with this, I might stack this next. Let's see what I said to him. Maybe it was something I already said. Sorry if I'm kind of not paying attention to chat. I'm trying to find this. Yeah, I think I said like Steve Rogers, I think is not a bad stack right now as well. So the ones I already said for like Captain America. Yeah, it's just hard because like I don't know how much further these Groots and stuff are gonna go, but I do think they are pretty decent thing to stack, and they're pretty inexpensive. Like people are still going for it. Looks like Common Groots retraced a bit, because wasn't he at like 60 something? He was at like 63. There has been a market update since I was last just yammering. Interesting. So the listings have actually plateaued. I mean, it went up by 30 listings, but that doesn't mean much when you have 900. But the price is going down. So I wonder if people are just taking profits or just relisting. Not entirely sure what's happening there. So, all right, let me catch up with chat here. Santino Nave bought 2 zombie Spider-Man around the time you made the video on him. Hope you made out well with him too. I did. He's retracing pretty aggressively right now. I would like him to like keep pumping. That'd be pretty chill. But you know, can't always have it. I kind of wish I did a little bit more dollar cost averaging where I just listed them at different increments as it was going up, so I could slowly sell them off instead of like, oh, I think it's kind of peaking at 500, then I'm gonna just list them one at a time. And like, I didn't get rid of as many as I would have liked, but you know, you live and you learn. This is the second time technically I've done stacking, but market seems to be correcting a little bit now. I agree, Andrew K. I do think it's correcting now at this point. Yeah, some of the other things are still pumping a bit. Like, it seems like Common Group plateaued a bit, but now it's, you know, people are just taking profits. But when people make those profits, where are they looking next? Because they already made some money on their current NFT. Now they're trying to find the next thing to buy, right? So now we need to figure out what's the next thing they're going to buy. Hopefully it's not comics, because I'm not very well versed in that. Comics, I think, have already kind of had their little pump heyday. They might be going a little bit longer. They might go for, they might go for a bit longer, but not entirely sure. But I mean, people are either trying to prepare for MTL, or, I mean, if you're cashing out all your stuff and you got 4 grand gems, you're not just gonna let it sit there, right? At least I would hope not. You would want to invest it in something else. We just need to figure out what that new something else is. Weintraub, thanks for the insight. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. P.S. You got the name right the first time. Weintraub, thank you. Appreciate it. Alpha Mel asks, That NFT to the Omi would be boss. I hope they do it eventually. I think so too, but I think it's gonna suck. Like by that time, like Omi could be like 20 cents, which would suck, but it's better late than never, right? I'm not that experienced with low mint numbers. I didn't know if below 500 is worth more than 501, 99, for example. Thanks, I will keep it for now. Yeah, I think it's a solid keep. Market is kind of correcting itself at this point, so there's not much to kind of like talk about. There's no like insane pumps happening, and if like it's funny because like at least the way Ecomi Wiki works is like if you look at top gainers, like let's say something went up 500 gems within the last 24 hours, even if it retraces down 200 gems, it'll still say pump 200, which is technically correct. But whoa, Ride the Lightning skateboards, a lot of the decon stuff is going up pretty well right now, it seems. So Ride the Lightning skateboard has basically gone up 143%. Is that right? That's nuts. Cat Trooper color, that's up, yeah, 100%. So it went up 232 gems. Yeah, a lot of the decon stuff is pumping really hard, as well as a couple of the Unicornos. Uprising is up now. I think people are just kind of preparing for Immutable X at this point. Maybe there's been a lot of talks recently of Immutable X, which I probably should be a little bit more in tune with, but I've said this before. I do think a lot of the like decon stuff or independent artist things, or like independent artist related, I do think they would do better off app than actually like on Veve, at least in my personal opinion. Wanderers is up right now. Yeah, surprisingly, the serial killer, some of the decon stuff, I'm kind of upset I sold my 3 drug killing frogs like 4 days ago, but it is what it is. Enterprise D went up a lot recently. That was actually one I was considering buying in like the near future, because I do feel like it was very undervalued. Not that I'm like extremely bullish on like Star Trek or anything like that, but I think longer term. Plus, I'm a Star Trek fan. Like I like Star Trek. I've actually watched all of the shows, like legit all of the shows except for the original, because it was just like way too cringy for me. I watched like the first episode and I'm like, this is too much. And plus I think I kind of get the gist of like the original series through memes and Captain Kirk memes and Spock and all that stuff. So I think I have enough of that to understand it, but I've watched all the Star Trek shows. Not all the movies. Not a huge fan of like the most recent ones and stuff, but or same thing with the most recent show. I actually haven't seen Picard yet. I don't even know if I want to. And Star Trek Discovery. So watch the first season. I think a bit of the second. Not a huge fan of that one either. It's kind of crazy to think that very first episode you have the main character basically commit mutiny, which is kind of something that's completely off the wall of like typical Star Trek. I think it's fine they went more of like TV show, like action drama series type thing rather than like the typical Star Trek. Like that's fine, but I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of it. What else? So top gainers, USS Enterprise, the other Ghostbusters stuff is pumping. I mean, Stay Puft Marshmallow went up 63%, which is pretty crazy. Which is why I think the Ecto 1 could be one that's coming up pretty close here in the near future. I do think the Ecto 1 could get pumped pretty soon. But yeah, again, a lot of the decon stuff, more of the Lincoln Ripper boards. OG Devil Bunnies going up. More Lincoln stuff. Strangely enough, I kind of want to look at like the Kripkins. I think I bought a couple Kripkins here and there, but Cryptkins. Well, I mean, they're all in the green, which is great. So if you guys have been holding on to Kripkins, that's awesome. I remember some of them had this like really crazy pump like 3 weeks to like a month ago. Ogo Pogo. I believe that's like a Canadian. Yeah, it is. And it's I do like actually the kind of like the Kripkins, like they represent a lot of like worldwide like folklore creatures and stuff like that. I couldn't remember, like, yeah, this one did have a pump like a month ago. It was at like 63, and then it went all the way up to almost 90. And people were like, whoa, what's going on? It's crazy to think that you know, back then a 30-40% pump was nuts. Now we have pumps that are 250% of like the value of the NFT itself. So Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, yeah, I'm familiar with some of these ones. Cthulhu. Which one's gonna do the best? I would say some of the lower mint ones, as well as like the more well-known ones. Like not a lot of people know about Chupacabra. I believe that's like a South American folklore one where he like sucks the blood of goats or something weird like that. That's kind of a weird one. I think that was like the Chupacabra. Jersey Devil is just like, I think it's New Jersey. So like the super regional ones are kind of hard. I would say the more well-known ones are like Cthulhu, maybe Bigfoot, even though that's probably more like North America. I'm not really sure. I've heard of Thunderbird, but didn't know that was like a really folklore thing. Twilight Moth, I remember that one had a pretty decent pump not too long ago, but let's see here. Look at the biggest losers. I'm not going to be streaming for much longer just because yesterday I did have like a 3.5 hour stream. Today I wanted to jump on for like an hour, maybe hour and a half. And so far it's been an hour and a half. So I won't be on for much longer, but I just kind of wanted to say what's up. And plus I was honestly a bit bored. So kind of wanted to just do some quick market stuff with you guys. So DeLorean's down. Okay, the ultra rare. So it's actually down it's retraced quite a bit. Hoverboard, Ultraman, Ice King, F.A. Harley. Wow, F.A. Harley's down to 1K. That is kind of crazy to think about. What is she doing? Like, I know she's probably one of like the weaker DC FAs, but seeing her retrace like that is pretty crazy. And the listings 87 up to 111. Okay, so the listings went up by about 24. Let's see here. Now she's retraced quite a bit. I think 1K is a pretty decent buy point. I mean, she might go down a bit lower, maybe down to like 950, 900. Might have to look into that. At least personally. FA Supergirl. Yeah. Definitely. Who said it earlier? Someone said it earlier. Market's like finally correcting. Yeah, Andrew K said, you know, market seems to be correcting a little bit now, which is not good for me, at least like right now. But I think overall, it's probably pretty good. Like even Rizzo's down 4K. Steve Rogers self-corrected. Batman Who Laughs. That one was absurd. That was such an absurd pump. I remember I was so bullish on this guy, and I shouldn't have sold my last one. But I think I sold them both. I think I sold both of my because I think I had 2 or 3 Batman Who Laughs, and I think I bought them for below 100, sold one at like 2 something and another one at 3 something, and I sold my last one at like high 3s, and I'm like, all right, it's done. And it goes all the way up to like what, almost 800, and you could just tell the listings just fly up and people are just taking profits. Now it's just doing a little wiggle dance all the way down. So cool. See what else. Look at a couple more things before we head out. Wow. I own a Voltron set and this hurts my soul. There was a couple times where Voltron actually touched 700 gems or even a little bit higher. And now he is declined all the way down to 580. So it happens. Probably need to pay a little bit closer attention to the graph. But again, like these graphs change so significantly between the hours, on the hour. So it's hard to follow it all the time. But yeah, I would say Robin's down too. Polar Bear Snow Globe's like retracing a bit. Yeah, it seems like market is pulling back. It might be like this for another day or two. Who knows? But then again, anything is possible. There could be a secondary pump that happens shortly after, because all it takes is a small handful of whales. I mean, we're getting 20,000 new users a day, and about 3 million 3 million gems poured into the app every day on average, at least according to Foster Hilt's like most recent like video that he talked about, which is absolutely nuts. So it seems like a lot, and it is, but like over enough days spread around to different NFTs, like anything could happen. So, but yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I won't field any more questions for like the next couple minutes before I jump off, but I'll probably end the stream here like the next couple minutes or so, unless you guys have any like burning questions or any NFTs you guys want me to look up in the meantime, because I'm ready to call it. Also, if you guys have any like video ideas or suggestions, you guys are more than welcome to like comment it either right now or on the stream after I post it to my YouTube channel or like my most recent videos or anything like that. Because I'm not like struggling for video ideas or anything like that, but like it's definitely good to have too many topics or too many ideas rather than not enough, right? At least in my opinion. So, all right, I think that's it. That's all the market analysis I got for today. I hope you guys take care, and I'll catch you on the flip side.